Hey, good afternoon, everyone. I think we got an Aaron Templin on there, do we?
Yeah, we do. Absolutely.
Perfect. Aaron, this is a fun one. I'm joined with Mr. Corey Brock. We're live here at Reed's, and, we actually close at 5:30. And, Aaron, Drew screwed up the time. It's 5. So we've got some customers rolling around. So if there's any interruption, folks on the Zoom, I apologize. But we're going to do our best to listen to the pro advice and all the trips of what you have going on, Aaron. And I know, you're the jack of all trades with this. So I apologize for the mask that Corey and I have on because we're too close on this one. But later on, we'll be a little separated. But, Aaron, I think we should, start by, sort of laying out the two differences. I think we should really talk a little bit about the highlights of Elliot, and then let's shift over to the 2B, sort of talk through that as well. A good game plan for you, Corey?
I think it's great. I think there's a ton of different rods and different actions, so Aaron can touch on a lot of that stuff, and we'll let you go on with all your expertise.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, first, let's break down kind of a lot of people that don't know between Elliot and 2B. Kind of a company breakdown. So it's actually Paul and Greg Thorne Company. So it's Two Brothers Innovations, and everybody always questions and asks, why do we bring up 2B and Elliot at the same time? And the fun part about that is it's all underneath the same roof. So they're both Paul and Greg Thorne. This is brands underneath one company known as Two Brothers Innovations. And then we can go into the rods from there. So like Elliot rods, we'll break down why our slogan is feel the difference and kind of the things you're going to notice with Elliot rods first. And the main thing is the handle material. I know you can have the rod rack behind you and et cetera, but the main thing is when you look at an Elliot rod, the first thing you're going to notice is the black handle. And I encourage everybody to pick the material up. So this is actually Syncork. This is a product that Greg developed quite a few years ago, brought it onto the market. The cool part about it is it's not going to absorb any water. It's not going to break down. It's not going to take in any hand lotions or anything like that. And the next thing is it's about 30% lighter than a traditional cork. So your bite sensitivity, everything, it's a real dense material. It's got an awesome grip to it. And I encourage you when you do walk into Reed's, pick up an Elliot. I mean, go up there, grab it, check out that Syncork material. And that's going to be the number one thing you notice first, especially in the differences between that and the 2B. 2B's got more of a traditional cork. That's an Army cork, and we'll get into that. And that's a real sweet finish also. And the attention to detail there. And for the people that don't know Paul and Greg, these guys are absolute innovators. And that's why it's Two Brothers Innovations. They've brought so many fun things to the marketplace and are doing it again with the Elliot rods and 2B ice, 2B fishing now. It's just really incredible. So we've got a ton of models all the way from your noodle stuff, and you'll notice there's some fiberglass noodles in there with the noodle light and the light bite, and both those are fiberglass options, and all the way to the new stuff. So under Elliot, you've got your standard lineup and then the brand new lineup. So the standard lineup, you're going to have everything from 2 fiberglass models, and then we go into our carbon, and it covers everything from your carbon crappie all the way up to your lake trout Ciscoettes. Pretty much everything you're looking for in there. And then there's the new model. So that is our Evolution series. And we're going to kind of want to go in, and we can get more in depth as we get into the question and ask portion of this. But you'll see the new Evolutions. And the cool part about that is, again, with Paul and Greg being innovators, is you have 2 44-inch models and a 42-inch model, and you're talking 44 inches in an ultralight rod. So you still have that noodle tip in a 44-inch rod. And what that's going to benefit you on is when you're standing or hole hopping, like a lot of guys like to do, you're running and gunning, say you're taking over a crappie basin. So you got to kind of chase and stay with that school. You're going to be able to, even on the windy days, stand up, point your rod straight down towards the hole, and you're not crouched over, and you're really going to eliminate that wind issue. So a lot of the things with the noodle rods is that wind's going to blow the tip. It's a super subtle up bite. And the cool part is you got a 44-inch option in a noodle rod. And it's really been just an unbelievable thing. We've been We've been loving it. I think everybody that's kind of handled them has really loved it. So that's the breakdown in the evolution stuff. So definitely check out the 3 evolution series. You've got a 44 ultralight, a 44 light, and then a 42 medium. And we really put that 42 medium to the test last season, catching some darn big walleyes on that sucker. And what's going to blow your mind is it's a 42-inch rod and it weighs virtually nothing. The same as going down to your 28 and 30-inch models. And it allows that hole hopper and guy that likes a little bit more play with their fish. So say you have a subtle hooked fish, you're going to have a lot better fish keeping and hanging capability with that longer rod. So you're going to be able to fight that fish more efficiently, not put a strain on your back, not pound on your knees, sitting over, hunched over the hole. And definitely check out that new Evolution series and all the regular series too. And I wanted to highlight, I mean, go check out for models wise when you're picking things up and you want to take a look. And if you're a walleye head like me, the Rippin' Eyes, the Wally Perkas, things like that, and you're going to notice these are medium action rods and they weigh nothing. And that's the cool part about it. And it's really created this cool thing with the sensitivity of it. And I never really realized until I fished them hard that there is a huge difference when you start playing with Sin Cork and you start playing with these super light rods is you definitely pick up every little thing. And I like to say, when you're using your jigging spoon, say you got a Wally Perk in your hand, you're using a regular rattle spoon, the sensitivity is so well, you can darn near feel when that minnow head falls off that jigging spoon. And it's really kind of a cool combination and a fun deal. And then we'll go into like 2B rods now. So just a different brand, different option. This is what we brought in. You're going to notice the cool blue that stands out in the crowd. You can see behind you, those blue rods stand out. And this is an Army cork. So the difference from your Sin Cork to Army cork is still not a traditional cork. It's got a lot more rubbers in it, things like that. So there's not a ton of cork fill. You're not going to beat up that material like you would a standard cork rod. So it's going to last a lot longer. It's a lot denser. And it's really kind of a cool deal. And these don't have as many split grip options in it. You're going to notice that first thing with the 2B. And then you still have your same fiberglass, little nude, big nude, and all the way up into your walleye stuff. So you're going to pull in there. A new one for this season is everybody's been asking for a dead stick. We've got that dead stick in there, and it is just called the dead stick. You'll see an oversized stripper guide, another oversized guide. Really kind of an awesome option. Everybody was asking for a pail setup or a rod holder setup. You'll notice a big longer Tennessee grip on it. You can position your reel wherever you want on there, especially going into the rod holder. And that's the little details of things that Paul and Greg have brought in with Two Brothers Innovations. You're going to notice that we put the longer grips on it. It's all the little attention to details, and that's for rod holder setups. You know, you're going to want a longer grip on your dead stick rods, a lot more comfortable. And then the new series is, so the new stuff with 2B, you're going to notice is the Select series. And there's some awesome stuff in the Select series. You're talking a little bit longer length. They're 34-inch. You've got a noodle option, and then you've got a perch light walleye option, and then all the way up to my favorite, which is the Spoon Daddy, which is an extra fast. Anybody that loves spoon fishing, the Spoon Daddy is unbelievable. The cool part you're going to notice is you've got your standard lineup with a fast draw, and it's extra fast. It's going to come into that meat really quick. If you know you're fishing light spoons, slender spoons, things like that I love fishing, and it's a real lightweight spoon, you notice that you got to really drive a hook away fast. It's not a big hunk of lead that fish is eating. So that's where the extra fast options come in. You got the fast draw, which is the little brother, and then the Spoon Daddy, which is the big brother. And you're going to notice those got a little bit different handle configuration. It's a tapered down, kind of a comfort over the top or pistol it. You'll see the white wraps on there. And then to the big brother of the Big Nude, you're going to see the Ultimate Nude. So you're going to see that trend all the way through the lineup, even with the namings. And it's just a 34-inch option. It's going to be a noodle rod, unbelievable crappie rod, unbelievable panfish rod. And check out that Select series, and same thing with the Evolution series, because there is new stuff coming out all the time. And with Paul and Greg designing the way that they design, it's really some remarkable stuff, and the attention to detail on it's really awesome. Before we get into questions, I got to circle back to Elliot. And another thing you're going to notice that we didn't talk about is, I don't know if it's going to be able to see through the camera, there's an integrated mill pocket in there. And that's another unique feature for Elliot. And you'll be able to just slam your reel boot in there, tape them up. Each handle with Elliot has its own ergonomic design, and it's all for comfort. It's really a cool deal, and each one is different, and it makes it fun and a lot more comfortable and different than kind of everything that you've seen out there. So I don't know if you can see that mill pocket on there very well, but another really cool feature.
Aaron, you must have done this before, because that pocket looks perfect from this angle. I hope the guys on the Zoom can see it too.
Right, absolutely.
So, hey, Aaron, you're talking about, great things, the dead stick, your fast draw, and your spoon daddy. Are those what you'd call your top three if you're looking at the 2B series?
If you're in the 2B series for walleyes wise, absolutely. Yep. If you're looking for a walleye setup, those are kind of your go-tos, your fast draw, your spoon daddy, and then the dead stick. There is a lot of guys that like lighter options. And I hear that often. And if you pick up a mag lurchin, I don't know if you have a mag lurchin behind you, that's in the Select series. And that is your perch and walleye setup. The cool part is with that longer length, you come into a lot of backbone and a lot of meat in that portion. So you're going to be able to fish that in a core walleye setup also. So definitely don't overlook those options. If you're looking for a heavier walleye setup, you can get all the way into your Prospector XL. And those are awesome walleye rods. Those are a more parabolic bend. They don't have as much trickery with the tapers on the blank. But the Prospector XL, I know a lot of guys who like to use the iFish Pro setups, and that is a perfect iFish Pro rod, or just a heavy rattle bait rod. And that is a great option there too.
Yeah, I think, like you said, Aaron, that mag lurchin rod really around here in this northern Minnesota has kind of caught on as well, for a really good perching rod or a light walleye rod. I mean, that's been another really kind of a sleeper this year that people are really liking that rod as well.
Right. Also in there, pure perch, we're talking just perch now, and to a panfish crossover. And I know there's a lot of customers out there that are looking for that option in a carbon rod. I don't know if you have it behind you, but the new Savant, and that's kind of one that is overlooked. It's a parabolic, awesome deep water crappie rod. Say you're using small rattle baits, which is a big thing in the crappie world now, really small stuff, super lightweight. And that is an awesome go-to perch rod and crappie rod. And guys look for that in between crossover too. So say you don't want a specific, just a walleye rod, you're looking for, man, I do a lot of perching, I do a lot of crappies when I run into them. And that is an awesome setup for that. And as you can see their cord bending, it's a lot more parabolic bend. It comes further back from the tip, and it's a great fish fighting tool. A lot of these things, when they get really fast, you do run into a few fish falling off here and there because you're not having the rod play and do the job for you. And that rod right there is just an awesome setup and an awesome lineup for that perch and crappie option.
Positively. Hey, Aaron, part of the goal today too was let the guys and gals on the Zoom have a little show experience. So we really appreciate you going through those details. And the other thing we typically do at the show is, for sure, we'd be talking new cases. So do you want to hit on this for a minute?
Yeah, absolutely. So we do have two options. You've got the brand new XL in your hands.
Yep.
We also have the regular standard. So the cool part about these babies is it's a shotgun style. You can open that sucker up. There's staggered tubes in there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and this is in the standard regular rod bag. The cool part, you got a top sling for hanging in your fish house. You've got a grip for the side if you're running, gunning, carrying on. And that's the fun part about these cases is this is your on the ice setup for today. I mean, you throw it over your back, you got a sling, you've got 4 options inside of there. This has got hard tubes all the way down, staggered at the top. So your cradle, just like you saw Corey do, setting the rod in there, the reel stem is gonna ride on the cradle. They are staggered. So once it's closed up, this is all padded. Once it's closed up, those reels aren't banging together. And it has really become an awesome, slick little setup. And the cool part is you've got your regular standard one, which is up to 36 inches in length. And this year, like you just held up, the new XL. So lake trout guys, and I know there's a lot of people out there looking to put lake trout rods in, and maybe you went out and you bought some new Evolution rods from us. And you've got that, how am I going to store it? You've got the new XL. So the XL holds up to your 46 inch, which is phenomenal. I mean, what a great option. It's got a little bit bigger pouches. You can fit like a 3500 series Plano in it. So fitting all your lake trout tubes. Maybe you're just a big panfish nut. You got 4 Evolutions or 3 Evolutions in here. You got everything you need for the day. And that has staggered tubes also. Rock and roll inside there. And another cool feature that a lot of people don't see are these little loop straps. And what these are for is if you're mounting this on the side of like a snowmobile or anything you want to strap it to, you can get a 1-inch ratchet strap, put it through these loops, and you can shotgun that on the side of your sled. So say you're going up on a big lake trout trip or heading out on Superior or wherever you're headed, you can strap that baby down to anything, and it's on the top and on the bottom. It's another cool little feature that a lot of people didn't pay attention to, and it's an awesome setup in the XL bag.
So, hey, the other thing that we might have used that for, besides a ratchet strap, sir, is that's where you put your beaver dam tip up. So you stick the flag through there, then hook it back in, and you're golden. You can hold 2 on that exact case. I may have done.
Haul them around. You can do anything. I mean, you can run carabiner clips and whatever you want off of those straps.
So, hey, talking show deals for a sec. So typically at a show, we might give a deal or two. But, you know, for the guys and gals on the Zoom tonight, well, we can't do this on the web, but we are going to talk about using a coupon code, and it's Reed's VIP deal just for this event, and it's ICE 2020, and we'll make that valid at checkout. For those guys and gals on the Zoom tonight, if you want to jump on the website or call us, you sure could. But ICE 2020, you might save yourself a penny or two. I can't really disclose that, but I think it's worth definitely putting the product in the cart, hitting checkout, and see what happens when you go to submit or check out on that card here.
Yeah, you guys definitely have a free 2-day shipping going on right now.
Yep.
And then also if you buy any Elliot or 2B rod, you get 20% off a reel. So that's another great deal and option.
So Aaron, we're shooting 20 off the reel to go with either Elliot or 2B. Does that mean we get to send Greg and Joe or Greg and Paul the invoice, or?
Right. would be nice, wouldn't it?
That's it. So, you know, I think we've had a good dialogue on this. I know it's short and brief, but the key thing is we just wanted to hear from you the tips of each one of them. So we appreciate that. Is there anybody on the Zoom that wants to shoot a message across that Aaron can try to answer or give us some guidance on as well? If you do, please definitely chat about it there, and we can get those over to Aaron.
Yeah, thanks, Aaron. I mean, we're pretty excited to have these rods in here the last couple of years too. You guys have made some huge improvements and additions to all these rods. So I think everybody's got to get out there, put them in their hand, and see which one fits you the best. But they've nailed it with all the actions with 2B and with Elliot this year. It's awesome.
Absolutely. And I mean, that's the key thing. And that's why we bring up all the time, and you see it on the sign behind you to feel the difference. If you see the Elliot rack, go up there and at least just pick it up. Check out that sin cork. And this stuff it'll blow your mind after a while. You end up fishing it and you get addicted to it. You go back to other materials and none of it quite feels the same. It's just a phenomenal product, and we're darn happy to bring it to you, and you guys support it and selling it. And it's what a great option. Yeah, positively. And before we wrap up too, we do have to remind everyone on the Zoom that they do have a brand new summer lineup coming at us. There was I want to say it was about 13 SKUs, give or take, out last summer. And this summer coming at everybody, it's booked and coming into Reed's.
the 2B summer and Elliot summer rod. So,
and that's a great point to touch on. And that's the thing with Two Brothers Innovations. We're not just an ice company. I know we're on an ice Zoom right now. We're talking ice rods, but this is a complete lineup. So check out all the Elliot summer rods, check out all the 2B summer rods now. And it is full all the way across the board, whether you're a bass guy, muskie guy, panfish guy, or walleye head. We've got everything, and it's really been fun watching people embrace the brand. And you pick up your Elliot ice rod, you buy it, then you check out that summer stuff, and it's the same all the way across the board. You're going to run into that Syncork. They weigh absolutely nothing, and it's really a game changer. I see that we have a chat.
Perfect.
Rippin' Eyes versus Nomad as a walleye all-rounder hole hopper. And that really breaks down, and to answer that, there's a couple different options, actually. You've got the Rippin' Eyes, you've got the Nomad. They're essentially the same rod. So same amount of power, same amount, this is a Rippin' Eyes in my hand. And what I'm using the Rippin' Eyes and the Nomad for is rattle baits, a little bit heavier fish. So an all-arounder, I would say it all depends on the size of walleyes you're targeting. Don't forget about the Wally Perka in that setup. That's hands down everybody's favorite rod. And I would say that is your all-rounder. But if you're a hole hopper like me, you're using reaction baits, you're starting to play with jig and wraps, you're starting to play with, say, the Tillies or Rippin' Wraps, some heavier profile baits, some bigger profile stuff, doing some hole hopping and aggressive fishing, then definitely jump into your Rippin' Eyes or your Nomad. If you're looking for a well-rounded perch 2 walleye, so you're talking your 16 to 24 inch walleye catching range, definitely check out the Wally Perka. Anybody else got any questions at all, or? Corey wants to show off any more rods, or?
That's looking like about it. So, I mean, definitely give us a call if anybody's got any other questions. You know, certainly give us a call at the store. We can always answer them over the phone for you.